That's your first thought, bro. That's your first thought.
If I'm gonna get arrested with anybody, it's these three blokes.
What the f am I getting myself into?
Let's go!
Let's go.
Let's go!
What's up, First Thought listeners? Welcome back. I know it's been a bit, but like I said, we'll always be back. Just Tuck and I again today. Honestly, this is the pod at this point where we always welcome help or invite Bailey back, but he's a little bit busy. So anyway, as we get into it, we're going to do a little bit of NFL catch-up today, a little bit of NCAA football catch-up today, because we're getting to the point where it's getting a little more predictable, the college football playoff, which is exciting. And then I'm going to touch on F1 a little bit because Max Verstappen's about to seal up the championship this weekend in Vegas. But first, as usual, Tuck, hit us with our obscure sports fact of the day.
Yes, sir. All right, so I got a couple for you. On this day in 1910, Arthur Knight patents steel shaft golf clubs. So 1910. I don't know about you, but I'm more of a wood shaft guy myself.
I mean, you said 1910.
Yeah.
This is pre-World War I we're talking. I had no idea that. I mean, I just kind of figured it was wood shaft until like the 2000s, honestly.
Yeah, I had no idea, but I guess 1910. I don't know. Andrew Carnegie.
One of all U.S. senators want to be the opposite of poverty. Carnegie. Steel?
Facts, yo.
Facts,
Shout
man.
out
I
Mr.
still got
Kolb,
that.
dude. I remember.
Shout out Mr. Kolb, yeah.
All you U.S. senators want to be, something like that, yeah.
Yes, yeah. I know I kind of fumbled that little part right there, but
No, that was good stuff.
there's also something to do with Rockefeller in there, but I don't remember any of that.
Damn. Good stuff. All right, wait, hold on. One more obscure fact. Today in 1996, O.J. Simpson takes the stand and claims that everything is absolutely not true.
Oh, and boy, was he right.
I was going to say that. And yes, he was, some would say, proven true.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I got won that case. And while we're on the news of O.J. Simpson, Josh Allen, I believe, I don't know if he tied him or if he surpassed him for the most touchdowns in Bills history. And that just goes to prove that he was a hell of a running back.
Yeah.
Dude, the guy was insane. Heisman winner. And if you check his stats, he had like a 2,000-yard rushing year.
Mm-hmm.
OJ was killing it, literally.
Make a bold claim to say he was a much better football player than a human being.
I'd go to back that statement. That I don't mind. It doesn't bother me. I'll sleep well at night saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Pretty sweet. All right, we're gonna go to our catch-up segment, just kind of so you guys know what Tuck and I are up to in our lives. As of recent, I started that new gig I've been talking about. So I work. I get into work at 12:30 today. I'll be getting at 12 because Fridays are short. Shout out Fridays. But yeah, I work the second shift, so typically it's 12:30 to like 10:30ish, 10 o'clock. I shut down the plant, which is it's a wild thing being the last person in the building, and I'm 24 and I'm shutting down this multi-million-dollar facility, making sure it doesn't burn to the ground. I don't know if it was Monday. I think it was Monday. My first Monday of being in the plant, we had a fire in the washer, but I wasn't responsible yet. I was not yes, I'm a supervisor, but I wasn't. We had the actual supervisor there that was he was still training me, and there was a fire, which was not cool because I was there until about midnight.
Yeah. First day on the job. Yeah. Let's burn this bitch to the ground. Pretty much.
Not type. Everything else was really going well. I mean, I enjoy it. My crew is cool. I got a crew of 10 people. Everyone's pretty nice, I think. Oh no, I got one other white person with me, but it's cool. It's like a very diverse group. It's all there's a couple of Spanish-speaking people that I have, which I've been working on that. And the rest of them are really cool. The wash alley is fun. We have we have 8 washers, but 7 washers that are the size of an RV. So it's fucking fun. I like doing that shit. It's dangerous as shit. It's kind of scary, but it's kind of exciting to find that or figure it out. And then the rest of it's just pretty much plain old simple. Load our trucks, get off our trucks, make sure people are happy. If they're in their fields, talk to them, ask them why. Why did this person call out? Because everyone calls out. I'm expecting to probably get some text here about people calling out. It is what it is. So figure that out, and the rest of it's just been exciting. It's been fun. I got a girl that I'm talking to now. That's exciting. It's been a while. And then I watch a lot of football still. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like, I feel like I haven't talked to you in a little bit because, like, well, it's been an adjustment period for you. Like, you've had like a lot of stuff going on new with life, and like our schedules are quite a bit different because usually I'm up early in the morning, and then I try to get to bed relatively early at night, and it's opposite of you, you
Yeah, my
know.
bedtime's 1 a.m. now.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm not anywhere near that. And like when like we have a group chat by a tricycle. That's a
Yeah. Named after
great
the first episode, I think. Or
shout out.
maybe
Yeah,
episode 3, I think. But yeah.
yeah, one of the first episodes. So and you're normally pretty active in the buy a tricycle group chat, but it's more so just been like the weekends that you hop in on with, versus,
Yeah,
and like I'm busy as hell on the weekends, so
that
um
is true.
so it's like our schedules have just conflicting as of recently, so it's cool. How's things with the girl?
Good. Going on a date this weekend to that sports social bar. Um, that area is like, like when we were there, Sports Social, for people that don't know, is like this really cool bar that has this
So
giant TV.
cool.
There's like a club upstairs, and then further up, I guess there's another hotel Christmas theme bar. Um, so like when you walk in, some people wearing hockey jerseys or NC State jerseys, whatever, and then some people wearing like club fits, and then some people wearing like Christmas sweaters. Like when you walk, because y'all have to go to the same entrance.
Yeah,
Um, but that area is blown up, like just like we were saying when we were there, like, oh, this area's gonna get crazy. There's ice rink there. There's like it's all set up, like decked out to the nines.
yeah.
So going well. It's exciting. Uh, she sometimes is taller than me when she wears boots. She's 5'9" without boots, so
uh,
I'm 6 foot on a good day.
yeah.
But she's athletic. I like that, and she's blonde. I like that, so that goes well. Yeah, she's a good girl though. I'm not used to talking to good girls. I normally talk to, not bad girls by any means, but like, I got a screw loose, and normally the girls I talk to have a screw loose, and she doesn't. All of her screws are tightened. So that's something I'm figuring out. But it might be good for me.
Does she party? Does she like fun
Yeah, she'll
stuff?
party. We'll go out. Yeah, we'll go out and drink, and but that's as far as that's the extent of it. She was a
Uh,
sorority girl at UNC, so I can get a good amount of drinking out of her. Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
Yep.
you can squeeze it out of her.
I can squeeze it out. No, actually, I don't even need to ask. I don't drink all that much. I
Yeah,
typically don't, but she's always asking to go out and do that stuff. So by all means, I'd like to. So it just
yeah,
like the one thing with our schedule is she also works a normal job, 8 to 5. And then I never get to see her during the week, but she lives like right up the road, or at the road. She lives in my apartment complex. So that's been huge because she lets my dog out during the day. She's training for a half marathon right now, so she'll take him on a run, which is huge. Because like me being gone for 10 hours, 10 plus hours, it was concerning for me. But her and her roommate, they just got their foster dog adopted, and
Mhm.
they're like missing having a dog around. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get a copy of my key. Make my dog your dog. Like, please take him. So they just like take him to the house, hang out with him, and then whenever they like, have to go do something or whatever, they just put him back in the crate. So nice.
So she's been taking him on runs. Like when you get back, is he shot? Is he exhausted?
No, no,
No,
no.
dude.
Yeah, she'll take him on a run. Birdie's not the greatest at running because he's always trying to stop and smell, or if he sees you running, he'll just try and take off and pull.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so she's only done that a couple times, but she always takes him on walks, like lets him out, lets him go pee and stuff.
I
Uh, but no, he has full energy when he sees me.
The reason that I asked is that I've gone down to Anna and Matt's place the past couple weekends,
Yeah.
Because some of the games that we've done for college game day have been in Connecticut.
Right.
So I should start paying rent at their place. I've been there, staying there quite a bit recently. Kind of funny. But so I actually went down on a Thursday night because there was a Thursday night high school game, a Friday night high school game, and then a Saturday college game. So I just went to like 3 football games in 3 days, which is
Is it a
dope.
Thursday night game?
Yeah, Thursday night high school game. There were like in Massachusetts, if you don't make playoffs, they do like consolation games.
Oh,
And
that's cool. Like a bowl game.
Yeah. That's essentially what it is. And so I also had some stuff to like do in like the Springfield area. I wanted to meet up with Jeff too. I got a workout in at CPC and some other stuff. So so I went down there, and it just so happened like the high school that's close to me, Pittsfield High School, they were playing against Minnetrog out in Wilbraham.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep.
I was all right. I'm going to stay down here for the day. I'll catch that game. So did that Thursday. Friday went to Middletown High School versus Bristol Central with Jay, and then Saturday went to Central versus Robert Morris, and holy shit, dude! It was one of the dopest games I've ever been a part of. Like, Central is down. I gave you the full rundown, but like Central was down 24-10, like late in the fourth quarter, came back two scores, tied up 24-24. Central then kicked a field goal to make it 27-24, and then Robert Morris hits a 44-yarder at the buzzer to send it into overtime, and then it went into double overtime. And watch YouTube.
Yeah. Check out the YouTube to find out the finale.
It was it was insane. It was insane. I had a good time doing that. But
and wait, before we go any further, are they playing again this weekend?
Yeah, dude. So we're going to the game this weekend. It's cool, dude. Like some of the guys like recognize us now, and like the coaches like wanted us back, and we're gonna put together like a recruiting highlight tape and stuff for them. So that's dope.
For Central?
Yeah, for Central. And you know Kyle Holt? I can't remember. Did I talk to you about
I remember Kyle Holt. Yeah, he was a goofy bastard. He played linebacker when I was there. So
yeah, but he's like we call him Coach Holt because that's what he wanted to do.
Yes.
And he coaches coaches at Central now. He's an outside linebackers coach. So
I do remember that.
He's kind of like our hookup there. And so solely because Central won that game in double overtime, they're playing for the conference championship against Duquesne.
Duquesne, that's right. I'm sorry. I thought they were playing Robert Morris again.
No. So Robert Morris, Duquesne, and Central are the top 3 in that conference. And but Robert Morris was actually ahead of Central, but because they won, Central's went ahead.
Yeah.
Now they play Duquesne at home for the conference championship. But you know how like football works out. It just so happens that like, especially like smaller football, it just so happens that this game ends up being the conference championship game.
Right.
You know, it's not like
it just worked out. It worked out that well.
Right. Like in FBS, they have like the best 2 teams from each, the East and the West within the SEC go and play for the conference championship. And in FCS, it's, they only have 8 teams in one conference. And so the top 2 teams, like basically the team with the best conference record comes out on top and wins the conference. But sometimes it shakes out that it's the last game of the season that is for the conference championship, and this is that circumstance. So there's a lot of hype around it, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, because our conference championship, like at W&E when we played, was pretty much Endicott week 8 or whatever. Like it was, we knew that was for the championship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's way early on in the season.
Yeah.
So that's life for me. Dude, I said all that just to say that, like, because you talked about like Bergie going on runs. So I was down. So I went. I talked to Jay and I was like, dude, like I've been trying to mix in like active recovery days of just doing different type of stuff. So like I've gone on a few hikes and walks and stuff like that. and I talked to Jay about doing a hike, and I found this dope hike because Jay told me about it, and I was like,
Mhm.
Anna, do you mind if I take Oakley with me? So I took Oakley with me,
Right.
and we got a little bit lost. Like, yeah, a lot of it lost. We got lost. And like, so it ended up being like almost like a 4 mile hike. And the oak, man, and there was like up and down. And the other thing
Yeah.
too is all the leaves had fallen to this point.
Cover the path.
Yeah, so you couldn't see, and like there's a ton of rocks and shit.
Yeah.
And so like I'm stepping on rocks and stuff, and Oakley blends in with the leaves, bro. Like
Oh yeah.
he camos to the leaves. And so there's a point, like there's not a lot of people around, so there's a point where I just take him off the leash, and he does a good job of like he'll go forward, but then he'll like look back. But
Yeah.
there are times like especially with the leaves and stuff around, he was getting excited and he was like venturing out. And so I like slipped on a rock, almost just absolutely biffed it. And I look up and I'm like, oh shit, like where's Oakley? Like I lost his ass. But nah, he came back, and it, but like 3.5 miles did that dude in.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Yeah. You
Yeah, I
probably
mean
didn't
it
get
was a,
out
it
much.
was a good it was good exercise. It was a good hike. Like I got a
Yeah.
sweat on, and then but he was down for the count. Like that night was the Paul Tyson fight, so I
Oh
tried to
yeah.
stay up to watch it, and Oakley was like chilling with me on the couch. Well, first off, I took him home right after the hike, and he just crashed instantly, fell
Yeah.
asleep. And I went to go get breakfast. I came back, he was still sleeping. And but then that night was the Paul Tyson fight, and so I tried to stay up and watch it, and I did. But Oakley was chilling on the couch with me like the entire time, and once the fight was over, like 1:30 in the morning, I got up and I tried to like get him to his bed. He would not move. Nope. Nope. Like he would not go to his bed. He's like, I'm staying right here. My ass is planted. So he slept on the couch.
That's funny.
like me sleeping on the couch.
Yeah. Yeah, you do that a lot.
Yeah, I like the couch.
I look like unfortunately I need to find a hike that's a little bit less populated because Bergie's good off the leash. He'll go way out. I don't even need to look at him. I don't even look for him. And then as soon as I call his name, he'll come back. But
Yeah.
he just takes out off in the middle of the forest. I can hear him running around chasing squirrels and stuff.
Yeah.
But I do like taking him on hikes. The other day maybe like a couple months ago, I accidentally went on a 6 mile hike because I took a little bit of shroomy doomies, and there's a hike, there's a river by me that there's a trail, like the trail that I go on, I normally go in a circle on it.
Yeah.
And this time I just kept following the path, kept following the path, kept following the path. And I looked up and I was at a different trailhead, like a different part. And I was like, where
Oh,
am I? It's like, oh my God, I got a 3 mile hike back to where I started.
yeah.
But then, when you're in that kind of zone, it doesn't matter how far you're going. Like I'd rather be outside anyway. So
Yeah. How was
it was, yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. It's like right along the river. It's up and down. You think at some points you're in the mountains, and then you're like, oh yeah, wait, I'm right by a river. So
yeah.
like it's beautiful. There's a bunch of like old tiki huts that are built, old bricks, things from like God knows when.
Yeah.
They just walk right past. They're not protected or anything. They're not like
Yeah.
fenced off or nothing. You can walk right through them if you want. It's
Did you
beautiful. I mean, I love North Carolina landscape. So
did you have like headphones to listen to music while you're doing
yeah,
it? Yeah.
I had headphones, listening to music, then switch on and off from like music to podcasts, and
Yeah.
then I think actually at one point during that hike, my headphones died. I still had the AirPods before because this is before October,
Yeah.
before September, and then they died, and then like I just go down by the stream because like the lull of the stream is a little bit better than nothing.
Yeah.
But it's just nice. Like I go on that same trail at least once a week probably. And then I knew that it extended, but I never like ventured to explore. And then I accidentally ventured, and then it just ended up being a nice day.
Dude,
But yeah, that landscape is gorgeous in North Carolina.
did you just like feel in sync with the environment when you took the shrooms?
Oh yeah, bro. It's like I was right where I was supposed to be.
Right.
Like,
It's
yeah,
like so like I've done that before, gone on some hikes while taking a couple of those bad boys, and like it's just like there's something like so primitive about it where it's like humans were meant to be in nature.
yeah.
You know what
Like
I mean?
I'm not geeking smiling, but I'm
Yeah.
like somberly smiling. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
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 It's a but it's like, dude, you know what I also think about too is that like vibrations. I haven't
Yeah.
like looked into it a ton, but it's like you feel like you are vibro first off when you're taking
Yes. Yeah.
and
I
like,
love that phrase.
yeah, I love vibro, but like it also feels like it's like people are like, if any random person out there watches this and hasn't taken mushrooms, they're like, these guys are fucking off the rocker. But it's like you almost like feel like in vibration with the trees and like the
Yeah.
rocks and like
It's like the same kind of wave, and then you all of a sudden you're matching it. So like it's
yeah,
yeah, I know what
yeah,
you're talking about.
yeah, like I'm on the same wavelength. It's you feel in tune with everything.
Yeah, that was what it was like when we were in the Louvre. Um,
Yes.
anyway, took a little while to sync up our vibro. To be honest, that was a little scary at
Definitely took
first.
a little bit to sync up the vibro for sure.
I still look back at that like, gosh, almost every day. I'm like, that was the coolest shit I've ever done in my life. That's
Yeah,
unreal.
I think that's got to be like one of my number one experiences. A
Yeah,
couple of those things on that trip, but
right.
dude, remember like when we just had that moment of realization where that painting was etched into the wall, like it was actually
Yeah,
into the wall, and we're like, holy shit, dude, like they did this in this very museum
yeah.
thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, and
I
we're
think that's getting you right now.
and then we all of a sudden look around us at everything and we're like, oh my god, everything in here is old as shit. There was a civilization here. Like
Yeah,
that was fucking unbelievable. All these all these like the most world renowned artists of all time were in this place. But now it's
yeah.
like it's very like commercialized.
Touristy. Yeah.
Uh,
I said it's very touristy, like you said, commercialized. They have a mall
Yeah.
underneath it. So
Well, there's parts of it that are very touristy and commercialized, but there's
yeah,
other that like the architecture is still unfucking believable.
it
Like
is. It's so
art,
hard to fathom that people put that much detail into stuff that long ago.
yeah,
On
unbelievable.
that same note, you're talking about vibrations and this and that, and I want to throw this in there. We're on a fucking explorative talk right now. In Egypt, they say that they moved all the stones from the quarry through vibrations of some sort. That's one theory, and they say that. And like I heard Joe Rogan talking about it. That's why I'm talking about it. Joe Rogan says something along the lines like there's like a different energy source, a different power that they may have used back then that we just don't have now. And
Yeah,
like our main thing is electricity and diesel and gasoline and stuff like that. And we just got solar energy in the past 100 years and wind turbines and stuff. But that ultimately is just electricity. Um, so stuff like that is, I was like, oh, like I wonder if they had tapped into something earlier that allowed them to have that power. I'm
did you
sorry, Berkey, that's gonna be really annoying.
did you listen to that podcast with those two dudes on recently? Is that why you're talking about that? Like,
No, I have
so
not. I don't really listen to the Joe Rogan podcast that often. That's like if I'm going on a long hike, I'm like,
yeah,
oh, I'm gonna like, yeah, watch
I
on
I
some Rogan.
listen. I'm selective with like the ones that I listen to Joe Rogan because there's ones that I couldn't care less about and there's ones that I find
Right.
really interesting. And
Yeah.
sometimes like I pop a podcast on and it just reverts over to a Joe Rogan podcast and I just like am not
Right.
paying attention
Same
to
for
it.
me.
Yeah, and I'm not paying attention to it and then he's talking to some random person and it starts to get interesting. I'm like, oh okay, find myself down a weird rabbit
Yeah.
hole. But uh that was what happened yesterday and it's weird that you just brought that up because they were talking about like the pyramids and moving stone tablets that were lit like I think the guy said something around like 2200 metric tons which
Right.
translates to like a million some odd pounds
Yeah.
and they move those and it's just like how and Joe Rogan is like very into aliens, and he's convinced there's aliens. And I'm like, I'm not. I think there's got to be like some other life form out there in some way, shape,
Right.
and he always talks about like they're probably so advanced to the fact that they like they have technology that he believes that they probably have technology that allows them to be among us right now, and in the sense that they're so advanced that humans can't identify them, essentially.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And there is I texted in the Bi Tricycle group chat the other day, because one of my coworkers told me about it. Um, that there is a town hall meeting, like a town hall meeting with the government the other day, and like this is when they have them yearly, and this or sorry quarterly, that they're supposed to like uncover like more truths like about like 50 years ago, like that. I can't remember what the rules call. There's a law about it, like 50 years ago they're supposed to uncover whatever happened before. And there's certain things that haven't been like the JFK assassination, stuff like that, they keep under wraps.
yeah.
But the other day they asked this guy. He's like, yeah, I've been in the government for this and that, works for the Air Force, blah 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 blah. And he's like, yeah, he's like, I can confirm we have other life forms on here that are not organic human beings, that are not like organic to this to anything we know or any like biology that we know. And he says that he thinks they're from the sea. He thinks they're from the water. Um, so like there's like aircrafts, and they said like, oh, the aircrafts controlled by like their biology. And he's like, I can't say. He's like, I'm a scientist. I'm not like a rocket scientist. He's like, I'm a biologist, this and that. He's like, I can't tell you whether they control them, this and that. But he says they have proof of like them moving back and forth, like their acceleration, this and that, proving to be like at least like 1,000 G-force, which is a human being can only withstand like 9 before blacking out.
Mhm.
And like all this stuff. And he said, yeah, they come from the water, which is
I
insane.
heard I heard all about this. I didn't realize it was in North Carolina.
Yeah, some of it was in North Carolina, but it wasn't. No, the town hall was national. Some of it
Oh,
has happened in North Carolina, though. You're right, but
I see.
yeah, because there is a minute ago. I don't know how long ago. I want to say it was during like the Cold War. There, there was a plane with a nuclear bomb on it that crashed in North Carolina, and it would have wiped out like pretty much would have wiped out North and South Carolina, a little bit of Virginia. But the bomb didn't explode because of one last safety measure. Everything was blown. Everything on like the plane, everyone died, this and that. There was every fuse was blown, everything on the bomb was blown, except like one last like pretty much paperclip kept it together. So they were saying like stuff about that, how it connected to that. And the guy said, no, that has nothing to do with it. That was just a government, that was like a military mistake. The person
That's
brought
like,
it into it. And the guy's like, no, like you're stretching.
dude, that's like one general looks at the other general like, oh fuck, like
Yeah.
we're not gonna tell anyone about this. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't.
he's like, oh shit. No, that town hall meeting was I think it was held in DC. I want to say
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what else I had other vibro stuff, but forget it. We got to talk sports.
Yeah.
We're 30 minutes in. I hope that listeners enjoyed that. I know Seth will. Shout out Seth, our one loyal listener. We do. I want to get into NCAA first because we're getting to the point where the college football playoff picture is becoming more evident. But whatever you're seeing nowadays, those top 12 to 14 teams, because they always do the first two out,
Uh,
it's all gonna change next week, and it's gonna change the week after, and it's gonna change the week after. Because teams like Indiana plays Ohio State, for example, this weekend.
right.
It's a noon game, which is a crime, because Indiana deserves better.
Yeah.
But it is number 5 Indiana, who's 10-0, versus number 2 Ohio State. Ohio State being number 2 is also a crime, but that's whatever. It's not
Why?
really because they're 9-1, but
But
I just hate them.
their one loss is to number 1 Oregon.
Yeah, no, I just hate Ohio State.
I hate
And
Ohio.
I think that I don't like their quarterback that much, who's I'm
Wait.
forgetting his name.
Oh, you're saying it's a crime that they're ranked too high?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. I'll take that.
But then again, all the SEC teams have 2 losses. So
Yeah. Well, the SEC's
that's-
beat shit out of each other this year.
SEC's beat the shit out of each other this year, which is fucking awesome, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Indiana. Oh god, it says the spread is OSU Ohio State minus 10.5.
Give me Indiana. Come on.
I
man.
would venture to say 10.5. Yeah, I would venture to say Indiana can keep that a little closer than 10.5.
Give me Indiana money line. Will Howard is not it.
Will Howard, that's the name. Thank you. I don't like Will Howard, dude. I just don't think. I don't know. CJ Stroud, we took him for granted when he was in college. CJ Stroud was nice in college. So like that may like he had Garrett Wilson and he had um Marvin Harrison and he had a couple of those dudes, but I'm still forgetting them. Smith McJigba, however you pronounce that, dude. McJigba. Like he had crazy athletes. He did. I get that, but you still got to throw the ball to those guys. You still got to avoid pressure, this and that. So him and then who was there last year? He sucked.
Oh, the kid from Kyle
McCord or something.
I want to say
Yeah.
Kyle, but yeah, Kyle McCord.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah, he wasn't that good, and that ended up being their fault. Like that ended up being like why they couldn't win a lot of big games in the end of the year. Their quarterback couldn't make the plays. So that was like kind of like, all right, I guess CJ Stroud was pretty fucking nice in college. But yeah, that's why I just don't know if they're gonna be destined to win much big games like that. Although they will play in the Big Ten championship against Oregon more likely than not again. I'd rather be Indiana. Because then Indiana make the playoffs. But going back again to the playoff picture, I don't even have it pulled up in front of me, but I know that Georgia's at number 11.
Hold on, really quick. Like if Indiana wins that game, they're in the championship.
They're locked. Yeah, they're locked. Yeah, they're in the championship for the Big Ten. Yeah.
Imagine Indiana versus Oregon for the Big Ten championship. What the
Unreal.
fuck?
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah.
Oregon is a wagon though.
Yeah, they're good, dude. So what's so interesting to me? We might have talked about this before, but just in general, like college football this year, there's not one overall dominant team. I guess
Yeah.
the one, but they started off slow this season. They've hit their stride. Wisconsin gave them a game last week. It was 16-13. So
Right. I did see that.
yeah, but like the parity in college football this year is insane, and to me, it's the perfect mixture of NIL, the new college football playoff, in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it has a little bit to do with each one of those things, or a lot to do with each one of those things, I guess. But it's like so many more teams are competitive this year. There's great players at a bunch of different schools, and like they're all spread across. And like, and the other thing is conference realignment. So it's like,
Yeah, I was about to say that's also one more.
25% of each one of those things is contributing to the parity in college football this year. And if you ask me, like I was talking to some guy about this last night, and I'll talk to you more about like last night for me too later on. But college football in general this year is really good for football in general. Like just like from high school age to youth age, the amount of eyes that have been on college football this year is like, all right, it's good for football in the future, which
opportunity for a lot of kids too that otherwise would never see a dime or never see like. Okay, so this NIL is giving more scholarship opportunities, if you want to put it that way, because a school that says, hey, like we have Travis Hunter, Shadur Sanders, and then these other 5 stars all on a real scholarship. What we can do for you is we can go to the NIL collective, and we're going to be able to give you $60,000 a year, so you can pay off your housing, you can pay off your loans, this and that, and have a little extra money on the side for work or for like food or whatever. So even Colorado's like a big example of that. They're the ones that have like Deion's bigger than anybody else in the NIL.
They just got the number 2 recruit in the nation.
Yeah, I saw the quarterback. Yeah. But like SMU, who has money, that's like in Texas. They got money. They got people that love football there. They have that band. Vanderbilt has money. They like all that. Like schools like that are just able to dish out a little extra cash to some of these kids that makes it more enticing, and just you don't know how long your career is gonna last. You have no idea. Like your knee could go your freshman year, but you made that 60 grand, and that is something you're gonna cherish the rest of your life. Like I know we're talking about money now, but it's something like that means a lot to a lot of different families. I saw this guy that he's playing at Miami. His parents had him when he was like 16, and this and that, and all these circumstances were counted against him. What did you say?
Xavier Restrepo.
That is, oh wow, nice pronunciation on that. Nice. I would not have gotten that. But yeah, like stuff like that. Like his story is incredible. Like he's
Yeah.
been a Miami fan. There's videos of him like doing ladder work when he was like 12 wearing Miami shorts. And his story is unreal. Now he's making cash playing for the team that he dreamed to play off. Like that is stuff that is like I wouldn't have ever been able to fathom that when I was a kid. I always
Right.
dreamed of playing like, oh yeah, like I want to play at Notre Dame or I want to play at Georgia. Like I get that, but there's never ever incentive to be like, oh, like I can make my family like a serious living off this. I can make my like
Right.
life a little bit easier for my parents. Just like I just like if I bust my ass and I get like an extra scholarship, even if it's not there, like stuff like that is incredible. I think it's making college football what it always should have been is like an opportunity for people to make their lives a lot better, like outside of sports as well.
And dude, like the other opportunities too is like they're still there at D2, D3. Like if you
Yeah.
excel at D2 or D3 level, like you could still like you got to market
Transfer
yourself,
portal.
build up the brand. Transfer portal is a big thing,
Yeah.
like, and I talk to a lot of college football coaches these days just because of like all the stuff that I do, but they would much rather have like a guy from a D2 or D3 school that's put on a ton of product on the
Exactly.
playing, like put on game, like a bunch of good game footage than a D1 transfer that didn't play at all. Like,
Yeah.
so like the opportunity is endless. It's the wild fucking west, but I think you could play it to your advantage. So I think it's
Yeah.
a good.
Yeah, I mean, for ball lovers, for true sports fans, people that like it changed their life.
Yeah.
It's not D1 or bust anymore, just because of like obviously film is a big thing. I think
Yeah.
there wasn't as much film accessible back in the day. Um, but just using that stuff to your advantage. If you're D3 and you want to bounce to D3, if you're D1 and you're truly there for the love of football or
Yeah.
lacrosse or basketball, whatever it might be, go play at a good school, get an education and make a stretch route for as long as you can. You might only have 4 years, you might only have five, whatever. I don't know the rules are nowadays, it's changing every year.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the opportunity is there. Which I love it because like we keep hearing stories like the one I just said about the guy in Miami. You keep hearing them. Like there's over and over every week. I feel like I hear a new one coming out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think we could talk about this forever because I'm like fully entrenched in the space now, and like the other thing too is that like you can I can be a big asset to people because I'm pretty well versed now, and continually becoming much more well versed on these things. And it's such a new thing that it benefits me and what I do, which is cool. But um, let's talk some of the games coming up this week. Some of the
Yeah, I
games.
did. I wanted to talk about this Ole Miss Florida matchup and why it's important.
Okay.
So
Enlighten me because
the SEC,
oh
yeah, the SEC is a fuck show right now.
yeah.
SEC it's better than it's ever been. There's good teams on every step of the way. Like you can trip up. Georgia tripped up against Ole Miss, who's a really good team.
Yeah.
Like they're like it's not like it was light work or anything by any means. Ole Miss is number 9. Um, so they tripped up against them, and Georgia's had the toughest schedule in college football like in the past like 25 years. I think they had like the toughest ranked schedule. So by all means, the Georgia, I'm kissing their ass right now. But
Yeah.
Georgia versus Florida. If Florida wins this, Florida beats Ole Miss. That is bad for Georgia
No,
because
Florida.
that.
You said if Georgia beats Florida, but you mean if
I'm
Florida.
sorry. If Florida beats Ole Miss,
Okay.
that is bad for Georgia. Because that bumps
Oh,
their rank of schedule down.
power schedule.
So yeah, so that would ultimately, if Georgia, because Georgia's playing UMass this week, it doesn't matter. That would probably bring them down in the rankings. So, uh, Georgia's number 10 and Ole Miss number 9, so I guess they would probably just fill in at number 9 position. But for the college football playoffs, it's not great for them. Because they are above. Although Ole Miss is number 9, Georgia's in the playoff picture right now, and Ole Miss is not because they have 2 tough losses, one to LSU and one to like Kentucky. Just like two bad losses for them, but then that would make Ole Miss a bad loss for Georgia. And Florida came into the season looking like the worst team in college football, and they're 5-5. They're not a bad team. I think Napier's trying to save his job there. I don't know if it's going to happen, but
I don't know. I still think they're not great, but yeah.
It's Florida.
I think their AD is a dumbass. Like I like coming out saying that we're sticking with Billy Napier. Like Billy Napier is bad since he's been there. It's been 2-3 years. Like guy has not won, and like those fans expect that team to win. Like
they should. There's no reason Florida. Gatorade was invented at Florida. There's no reason they shouldn't have all the 5-star recruits they want.
Originally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
Gatorade. What was the first flavor? Go.
Lemon lime.
Yes, good call. Lemon lime was the first Gatorade flavor. Maybe I remember like I knew that and I kept answering orange just because I wanted it to be orange because the Florida Gators, but it was always yellow. It was always lemon lime.
It's always lemon lime.
But yeah, that has a huge implications on the playoffs and the SEC title because right now Texas is in the driver's seat. Who had a bad loss to Georgia, which is good for us. Like we blew them out. Yeah. So it's Texas and Texas A&M in the driver's seat. Shout out Texas A&M and their NIL collective of billionaire oil people because they brought that program back in 1 year. Like, unreal. They went out and got like the best player in Texas and said, no, you're not going to Texas. You're coming to Texas A&M. All this stuff. They paid him like $1 million. They paid a $70 million buyout to Jimbo Fisher, who is happily chilling on the beach, probably still cheering for Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Probably like, yeah, hell yeah, dude. Those guys made me rich.
with all those O's in his bank.
Yeah.
Doing just
so yeah, Texas and Texas A&M are in the driver's seat, but last week of the season, Texas and Texas A&M play. So it would be better for us if Texas beat A&M because then it'd be more likely than not be Georgia versus Texas in the championship. There's some instances where Alabama edges us out because of like their losses are better than ours. They have a loss to Tennessee and Vanderbilt. Yeah, Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt just had a better season than everyone thought they'd have. And they have the beat over us, which is why that ends up being that way. They have the beat over Georgia. But that is huge playoff implications. And then there's a couple other big games this weekend. I'm trying to find the other SEC one because the SEC schedule is whittling down to, like I said, Georgia playing UMass. Alabama plays fuck all. Like the rest of their schedules are easy.
Yeah. But good games coming up this week. You got ASU BYU, which I'm pretty fired up about. Yeah, which is cool because ASU is fighting to make both these teams are fighting playoff, bro.
Yeah. ASU, bro. Yeah. What's their coach's name? Saguaro coach. He's the old Saguaro coach.
He coached at Chaparral, Kenny Dillingham.
Oh, Chap. Dude, shout out Kenny Dillingham. That guy is ASU through and through.
Yeah,
did he play quarterback at ASU when he was in college?
He's an alum. I don't know if he was a quarterback alum. Yeah, he's a.
By the way, he's bringing pride back to Arizona. It's unreal. That is a good atmosphere. If you've ever been to Tempe and you've gone to a game, that is a good atmosphere. It's just that they haven't been good. So
I don't know. ASU in general is just known for their partying and like athletics have always okay. But dude, you get the right coach there, the right AD that wants to blow up athletics. It can be a freaking hub. It is the infrastructure in Tempe is sick. Like the amount of cool shit to do around Tempe. You got Scottsdale right around the corner. Dope. Like it should be a very easy attraction spot. You got I mean, you can draw in kids saying like we got the prettiest girls in the world, like
No doubt.
like,
Yeah.
around Tempe, but like you gotta minimize those distractions once you get there. But
Not easy.
yeah, which is also not easy because I think ASU also has one of the lowest graduation rates in the country, so that'll happen.
Yeah, we have one of the highest acceptance rates, so yeah,
One of the
makes
highest
sense there.
acceptance rates translates to one of the lowest graduation rates, but
Yeah.
we'll take the good with the bad.
Yeah. I'm checking out ASU's schedule right now, and they've played a lot of close games.
Yeah.
Which is good, which is probably a good thing because they're
Yeah.
more experienced in those games.
Yeah.
They had the beat last week against Kansas State 24-14. That was like the biggest win of their season thus far.
That was a big one. Kansas State is good. That
Yeah,
quarterback.
Kansas State's good, and they had a good win against Utah earlier in the year, but Utah just hasn't had the season they were expected to have. Their two losses are Cincinnati and Texas Tech, which are actually not bad losses because they're both close losses.
Texas Tech is a
And
solid
it's just
squad.
what is that?
Texas Tech is a solid squad this year, I think. 6-4.
Yeah, it was at Texas Tech too, and then it was at Cincinnati. They're both away games. They're both solid teams.
Yeah.
And this one against BYU, Mormons versus Devils, unreal tagline. This is at Arizona, so that'll be huge. That'll be huge for them in Tempe, and then they play.
Do you have the line on that game?
Yes, it is ASU -3.
ASU -3. They're favored.
They're favored number 21 versus number 14. BYU is played a cupcake schedule.
Have they?
Oh yeah. So let's see. Southern Illinois. Oh, you know what? They beat SMU. SMU is 9-1.
Oh.
They beat SMU in straight field goals, 18-15.
What a game.
And then.
Well, they beat Kansas State.
Oh, they smoked Kansas State.
Yeah, they smoked Kansas State.
Yeah, and then Baylor is having a terrible year. They beat Arizona, having a terrible year. They had a close one against Oklahoma State, who is an okay team, not having a great year either. They have a lot of similar opponents. Yeah, they have a lot of similar opponents on their schedule because of the fact that they're in the same conference now.
Yeah.
But their beat against Utah was obviously nice, being about 1 point. And they lost to a not great Kansas team.
Yeah, Kansas.
And that was in Utah. So
yeah, that's interesting. I mean,
is interesting.
I would have assumed. I didn't realize it was at ASU, but I would have assumed even. Yeah. I would have thought that ASU might have been the underdog, but the fact that it's at ASU changes the game. But I'd take ASU money line this game.
No doubt. Let's see what other good games we got this weekend. While I'm at it, while we're talking our favorite teams, we're talking ball. UConn versus Syracuse this weekend. That's two of my favorite colleges.
Yeah.
So Syracuse -10.5, but UConn is going bowling, bitch.
Are they?
Dude, we're back. We're back as fuck. We're 7-3. Unreal. I bet on them almost every week.
What kind of dog shit schedule are they playing to be 7-3 though?
Oh, it's not good, but I don't give a fuck. I'll take this schedule every year. So we got blown out by Maryland our first week, 50-7, and we backed that up with a blowout against Merrimack, 63-17.
Conference? Yeah, I think so.
Well, I don't even know what conference we're in. We're independent.
Oh yeah, are you sure?
Yeah, we're independent still. I like UMass and Notre Dame.
Why is it? All right. That's fucking weird. Why is UConn?
It is weird.
Was independent, because
no one wanted us, but we're 7-3. People are gonna want us, baby. We're going bowling. Then we had a really good loss. I hate saying really good loss, but it is a good loss. Really good loss to Duke, 26-21. Who just they out recruit us and everything. And that's a basketball matchup anyway. So
yeah.
And then blew out a FAU team that I don't think they're very good. Yeah, they're 1-3 at the time, but they're 2-8. They're terrible. But
7-3. Yeah, I guess they
yeah.
Well, I'm looking at their schedule right now. They beat dog shit teams.
They played dog shit teams.
Oh my god.
They had a really good game against Wake Forest. Wake Forest is an okay team. It's an okay franchise. what do you want to call it?
Program.
But Syracuse next to Maryland, Syracuse is the best team they're going to play. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, UConn and Syracuse do have like this sort of like rivalry through basketball and through like both of them trying to be the Northeast biggest, like the Northeast favorite teams.
Yeah.
Probably go to Syracuse just because they're New York's favorite team. But I think it's cool. I mean,
I'm bought in on this game, dude. This would be a good game. I think it'd be
I'll
a good
watch. I will definitely watch. And then the week after that is they call it the UConn versus UMass is a bowl of some sort. They call it. Is that they call it something like that? They call it because UConn in history has
because if you put it on the TV, like it's the C
yeah
logo.
Come-ass, yeah.
It's the Come-ass Bowl.
The Come-ass Bowl. Yeah. So UConn has been like a trash franchise.
Me and Jay are trying to do the Come-ass Bowl, by the way.
Dude, that would be unreal. And then UMass is always bad, been bad, not going to be good.
Yeah.
God, it's tough, dude. Like, you would think, University of Massachusetts, you would think they'd be able to figure it out. But, god damn, they're bad. And their jerseys are ugly. I like maroon, too.
They need an entire overhaul there. Like, I was actually talking to some guy last night who he actually knows a decent amount of people, and I think he knows the athletic director, and he's like, yeah, he sucks. Like,
you know what they need to do? I'm not gonna get another guy's name, but Last Chance U, that coach that got like canceled for dropping a bunch of like he wasn't racist things because he's very not racist, but like a bunch of like political this and that. Dude's a psychopath, but he could revamp that fucking franchise.
I hate him. No, I hate him so much. Like his name's Jason Brown. He sucks.
Yeah. Oh, he's terrible. And his Twitter is funny, but I just think that if there's one person that can maybe fix UMass, you got to do something so torrentially bad in order for people to forget the stink of the past.
Dude, I think that guy has absolutely just destroyed his reputation through Last Chance U and all the stuff that he does on social media. Like, there's plenty of guys within football. Football is an alpha male kind of atmosphere thing, and it's like a lot of it is like who can swing their dick the biggest, and he's one of those that he knows football, sure, great, but he is ignorant in general. Like, and he speaks crazy things and just says them loud, and makes it seem as though he is tries to seem as though
he sucks.
Intelligent. He sucks.
But the point is that no one wants to pay attention to UMass.
No,
like, when they come across my ticker or anything like on like the ESPN thing, I'm like, ew, get that off my TV.
Yeah. I mean, you know what they really need is they need fucking a guy like Signetti.
Yeah, but no one like that would go there. I don't think there's unless you can get like no, because even then like the D3 like Whitewater or whatever it is, Madison Whitewater, what?
Wisconsin Whitewater.
Thank you, Wisconsin Whitewater. That they're known for producing their coach and just like pushing them to some D1 school. Mountain Union as well, but like those guys wouldn't want to go to UMass.
Yeah, I think it would be a fucking downgrade.
It'd be a downgrade. They'd probably getting the equal. I bet you if Wisconsin Whitewater played UMass, I bet it'd be like Wisconsin Whitewater minus 2.5.
I mean, the one thing that you could look at it as if you're a D3 or D2 guy, it's like, all right, I had success at the D3 level. I'm going to an absolute dumpster fire of an organization. If I find a way to make this team a 500 team, Alabama will call me.
Right. Yeah, that is true.
And then I can go.
Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, and I can go be the quality control coach at Alabama, and then I'll coach in the NFL next year.
If Kalen DeBoer really thinks he's all that, he would have gone to UMass.
Cheers. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. So that's enough UMass UConn talk. No one wants to talk about it anyway. It makes me want to throw up thinking about it. SMU plays Virginia 9-1. If they win this game, they lock their spot in the ACC championship. More likely than not, it'll be Miami, but Clemson is still in the mix. I like when Clemson's in the mix. When Clemson's good, it's good for college football.
one other thing. Colorado's storming. They played a dog.
That's what I was about to say.
I was looking at it too. They played a dog shit schedule too, but
Yeah.
you got to give credit to Dion because he's absolutely flipped that team around, and now they're drawing big recruits and they
He's doing
lost.
what he said he would.
Yeah, to an extent, yeah, for sure. And they are technically in the hunt for the college football playoffs still. I mean, but the things that they have. Wait, so
Big 12 was bad. Let's say that first.
So no, okay. So I mean, you get an automatic bid if you win.
Yes.
So yeah, so they're in. So it's BYU, Colorado, and ASU. I mean, Iowa State's in the mix too, but it's really BYU and Colorado are at the top right now with being 6-1.
Right.
So
So ASU gets the beat this weekend against BYU. It's going to be it's going to be Colorado versus ASU, I believe, in the Big 10 champion or Big 12 championship. Obviously, I'm going to be cheering for ASU, but if Colorado gets in, then Dion is doing exactly what he said he would. I mean, their
ASU,
schedule is not great,
uh,
but they blow teams out. So
ASU versus Colorado would be an electric
it'd be a sick matchup.
12 championship. I would love
I
that.
wonder where that'd be played. They probably have it already. They probably
They-
the Rose Bowl, right?
It's neutral sites. Yeah, something like
Or
that.
the what do you call it? Coliseum.
Coliseum.
God damn, I would. That's what I used to dream of when I was a kid, having like the Notre Dame helmet on and playing in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, Rudy, Murph.
Yeah, I just me and him just alike.
Same dude.
So that's the Big 12 shakeout. The ACC, like I said, it's just going to be depending on if SMU wins, it'll be SMU versus Miami. Miami's a fraudulent ass team. I can't wait to watch them lose in whatever round they play in the playoffs. I like Miami. I like them being good, and I like Cam Ward. But that team just is fraudulent.
That's what I was gonna say. I agree, but the one thing is Cam Ward, and the other thing too. We'll zoom through this because we got to hit the NFL, and we've talked through it. But there's not a ton of good Shadur, and I guess Cam Ward and Dylan Gabriel, but I don't think this draft class of quarterbacks coming up is not great. If you ask
Bad for the Giants. Bad for the Giants, because shout out us for getting our quarterback last year. Last year's quarterback draft class. That's what we're gonna get to it a little bit. I have it written down. Rookie quarterbacks evaluation through whatever week we're in.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also a big matchup this weekend that everyone wants to watch because historic and colors and everything. Wisconsin plays Nebraska. Nebraska -1. So that'll be fun.
Okay, whatever.
I like that. That's like that. When I see that on my TV, that's like college football. Like that's nice.
Yeah. Well,
and it'll probably be snowing because it's freezing there right now. So
in Wisconsin.
Yeah, no, it's in Nebraska.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's just historic, two historic programs, ground and pound football typically, but a little bit. But
I know, but that's goddamn, that's good. I just want to see people crack skulls.
It is football. It is hardcore.
And then Army Notre Dame, number 6 or number 19. I was just saying how much I like Notre Dame, but Army winning this would be pretty cool. And then Ashton Genty plays Wyoming, Boise State plays Wyoming.
Yeah.
Ashton Genty for the Heisman. Love Travis Hunter. He's exciting. He's great on both sides of the ball. But this motherfucker, we might never see a running back like him again.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I do disagree with you because Travis Hunter is the best.
Both sides of the ball, dude. He's unreal.
So Ashton Genty is doing unbelievable shit. I think it is unfortunate that he is playing college football the way he is in this year.
Yeah, at the same time.
Because Travis Hunter is the best player in college football.
Yeah, he is.
Sides of the ball. He is
He can play running back.
Bro, he is a freak athlete. He's a freak.
Yeah.
He's the best wide receiver on their team. He's the best DB on their team. He's the best athlete in college football. He is the best
different
football player. He's the best football player in college football.
Okay, so that is obvious, and we know this. So Travis Hunter is the best college football player or best player in college football, and we'll say that because he is. But I want to throw out some stats just so we can acknowledge it while it's in the present. Ashton Genty has through 10 games, he has 1,900 yards and 26 touchdowns. He's averaging 2.6 touchdowns. Is that, I don't know if that's right math, but over 2 touchdowns a game.
So what you would do is 26 divided by 10. That's 2.6. You were
I did
right
get
there.
that. I did have that, yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're a math guy.
I am a math guy. All the
Nice.
math I do now is like counting how many mats are coming out of a fucking dryer. So it's a lot easier.
That's all you do.
But like their quarterback is not that good. Their quarterback has just 2,200 yards and 19
That's not bad.
touchdowns. It's pretty good.
220 yards
actually, with 3
passing a game. 220. They just got potent offense, bro. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's pretty decent. They have a wide receiver. Their wide receiver 665, 4 touchdowns, but 26 touchdowns this motherfucker has. That is, I played NCAA. I know this is like one of the earlier episodes. I played the video game on like veteran mode or whatever, and I got like 9 touchdowns. Like, it was hard. Like this dude's playing on rookie mode.
Oh wait,
It's fucking
like you
ridiculous.
did the Road to Glory?
Yeah, Road to Glory, and then I played UConn all 4 years at UConn, and finally I got to start like my junior year or something. And I got like 9 touchdowns my senior year. Not good, dude. Fucking difficult. Yeah, but
Ashton Genty's way better than you.
he is, dude. He's playing on rookie mode. This is fucking unreal. 26 TDs. All right. I want to do our sink or swim and then bounce into that.
All right.
What are you doing, dog? My sink actually has to do with my dog because I get nervous that I leave him home for so long. Like it's just like not a good feeling that he's in this cage all the time. But he's a good boy and he's well behaved, so luckily he doesn't freak out or anything. And then I have my swim that's my sink, and then it goes straight into my swim that I've made some friends that let him out now. Which it's also a little bit nerve wracking because you're like, oh, I don't want my dog to embarrass me by doing some crazy shit. I got it. Like he chews my sleeve sometimes, and he does this and that, and he'll pull on the leash, but so far so good, no problems. He got excited a couple times and like peed on them. He does that to new people. Doesn't do it to me anymore. But he's since then it's been like about 2 weeks now, and he's already stopped peeing on them, which is good. But that's my sink and swim, is just being nervous about my pup, making sure he's taken care of as he's chewing on my bed right now. But besides that, it's been good. Everything's been going super smooth. What about you?
Yeah, I mean everything's new. Everything I do on the daily is new, so it's cool. And I just like am trying to be a sponge in life and just learn from every experience that I do. So my sink, dude, yeah. So I was working on this for a while, like college football seminar that I did, and
Yeah.
like I busted my ass like working on it, and like I put a ton of good information into it. And really, I think that every high school football player in the nation should have been there last night and listened to the shit that I had to say, because I think it's all really valuable stuff, and I think a lot of people could have taken a lot from it. And I did a lot of work to like promote it, but dude, it is like marketing, and so like it just didn't have a great turnout. There was like there's legitimately like 8 people in the room, and then like another 6 people on Zoom. Which,
Yeah.
like, if you look at it like that, like if you really look at it and say like, oh, I had 12, 14 people actually like showing up to listen to what I had to say. If you think about it like that, like, okay, like that's a small victory, but like my mind was like I expect like a bigger turnout, and like I was excited about it, and I put a lot of work into it. So like just seeing, like I filled out the room with all these chairs, and there was only like a few people in the chairs. So that was like my swim. Like I think there was some failure baked into that, but also like been thinking about failure in a different way as recently, because it's the mindset you have to have when you're trying to grow something that's so new. But yeah, so that was my sink. swim was probably, dude, I've had a few. And I also, my other sink, I've been working out and playing basketball so much. My first time having athlete's foot is back in like
Dumb bummer.
I think 8 years or so. Like I was probably 18 the last time I had athlete's foot, and I got a little athlete's foot going on right now. But also, it's kind of like that. You wear that as a badge of honor, like a wrestler with some cauliflower.
Yeah.
But my swim, gotten a few new clients,
There you
so
go.
people are paying me to do stuff, which is fucking. I still find that to be a crazy fucking thing.
That is bonkers.
But dude, it's fucking like I fucking
It's
deserve
easy for you.
it's like I have so much knowledge to give to people on this stuff, and I work at it every single day, and I'm constantly getting better at it. So it's like buy stock and talk. Like I'm
Right.
going. I fucking know I am. But it's humble beginnings right now. Humble
Throw in
beginnings.
an ad read.
Throwing an ad read. Trademark performance. Hop on the wave. And the other thing.
Find us
What?
at, what is it, at Trademark Performance? That's just what it is.
At Trademark Performance on just about everything. If you search trademark, if you Google Trademark Performance, you'll find my website, trademarkperformance.net. I'm now on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, X, the everything app.
Everything app.
Yeah, so that's life. But I guess like the other swim too is I talked about it earlier. I've really enjoyed like the college game day stuff, and dude, finding my way onto like a Division I football sideline is hilarious to me.
How quick was that too?
It's like I've been doing this stuff for like 4 months, like not even like because we started it in August, and it's getting so like end of August until like the end of November, so 3-4 months, and like doing this stuff on Division I sidelines, and like they want us to come back now and like build some cool relationships with some of the players and stuff. It's
Right.
like in the episode that we dropped last night is, in my opinion, it's fucking dope. I think people should go watch them. It's just finding ways to get people to go watch them that's really interesting. Like trying to like tap into the algorithms and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. It's really hard, but we're figuring it out as we go. And I think once like people get on the train with actually like tuning into it, we have a decent body of work there, and then people will hopefully go back and watch some of the old ones, and I think it'll catch on eventually. I really do. But like that's not my ultimate pursuit, It's like it's just
Right.
it's an extension of my business essentially, and like if that thing pops off, like cool. So that's my other swim. Yeah.
There you go. I mean, that's pretty good. Amongst the catch up, I feel like we do catch ups now, just like actually catching up with each other. But
yeah,
that's a good sink or swim right there.
Yeah.
Going to the NFL schedule. We're kind of the part of the season where teams know where they are nowadays. Like I feel like you get to Halloween and teams know who they are. So the Patriots are obviously like, a dynasty in the coming. We're obviously like teams are scared of us. Teams don't want to play the Patriots. No. We play Miami this week, and I think actually, if anything, Miami is kind of that team that teams don't want to play right now. Now that they have Tua back, they look like the Miami that of the old, the past 2 years or whatever. I love Tua, dude. I hope that his skull stays intact. I love watching Tua play.
Dude,
like
I mean,
him and Mike McDaniels couldn't be more opposite people.
I think I like their chemistry that they got. It's kind of funny.
Right.
I
saw a clip the other day that cracked me up. They were playing the Raiders. I think it was last week, and they beat the shit out of the Raiders. But Mike McDaniels, it was like 4th and 1. They were trying to get the Raiders to jump off sides, and he goes on his headset telling the offense coordinator, he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna fake that I'm changing the play call. I'm changing this play," and he yells it out. And then he walked up to it too. "I'm not changing the play." He goes, "Okay." Like Tua knew. You didn't need to tell Tua that. He goes, yeah, I know. And then he like looks at him, was like, most quarterbacks would like kind of like react to it, but Tua just like staring at him like, all right, Mike, like you crazy bastard.
Yeah. Yeah.
But cracks me up because it just seems like Tua is way more mature than him,
Yeah. That is true.
which cracks me up. But yeah, so the Dolphins play the Patriots this weekend, which will be a pretty fun game. The Patriots have a pretty solid defense, and the reason I'm saying that is because Drake May is exciting and he's making the Patriots fun to watch again.
Yeah, dude, I'm fired up. So I think like I'm way more on the college football train this year than I am on the NFL train in general, but
Yeah,
it, partially because the Pats like they suck, but well,
right.
no, that's a lie. They're the greatest team in NFL, but
We're on the
uh
way back.
they haven't been, yeah, right. They haven't been as entertaining, but the Pats are buying me back in as of the past few weeks, and Drake May making some improvement, and then just it seems like he's built a little bit of like he's building a good reputation. He seems like
Yep.
he's having fun. He's saying the right things. Like he's
Team locker room loves him. The
yeah,
receivers want to play again.
yeah, exactly. Our receivers fucking suck, and they're not doing him any favors. But like it's exciting, man. Like they're like it seems like they're turning stuff around.
Yeah,
And like this Miami's -7.5, so Pats at Miami. Like,
yeah.
I mean, historically the Patriots play terrible in Miami, so that's a little bit of a freaky thing. But
Yeah,
uh,
that and just Tua being back. Like I do think the Dolphins are pretty good.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It'll be an interesting game. The the Pats' strength is our DBs, really. Like we have solid
Yep.
DBs. So
And it's been that for the past few years. Like
yeah,
when we had the Mac Jones era and the Cam Newton era, it was
yeah.
our defense that was holding it together.
But as a Patriots fan, like I think you got to be excited right now. We have solid bones, and you just got to
Yep.
fill in the O line and fill in the fucking receivers. God, we suck on receivers,
Yeah.
and then get some
Um,
D linebackers.
I I skipped down the game that was Thursday night football. The Browns beat the Steelers. It was
Uh huh.
crazy. If you saw the game, the first half was just like, oh, it looks cold, but there's no snow or nothing. It was just a regular thing. And then you cut to the second half, and it looked like it just was a blizzard. It was snowing hard as fuck. It was so cool for like football. I get to like when I get home from work, I watch the second half. So that's the better part of this job is I get to stay up for the second half of like all the night games.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, the Browns, James Winston inched one out against the Steelers. That was an exciting game. When Mike Tomlin is favored, he doesn't win. As long as Mike Tomlin is counted out, he will win. So
yeah,
I need
yeah,
to know that for betting.
yeah.
Um, not much else in that game. It was kind of more or less a boring game. Shout out Nick Chubb for being back though.
Uh,
Uh,
and Jameis is just an electric factory. He's fucking hilarious. He's
yeah,
having
and I'd never want to miss a Jameis game. That's also part of it.
yeah, yeah. He's
God,
hilarious.
he's so good. His post game interviews might be better than the game.
He's a nut job, dude. Like he.
Dude, couldn't ask for a more positive person.
Oh man, everything he says, he's never said a negative thing in his life. I don't think. But
Yeah.
like
Um,
you like everything he says is must watch TV because it's like you do not know what is gonna come out of that guy's mouth.
it is. I scroll through a lot. Like my Instagram, I've been like kind of saying this to people like the past like week or so is like my Instagram's like the same shit every day, and I don't really take interest in it anymore. I kind of just scroll and scroll and scroll and don't actually like look at anything. But then when I see Jameis, I'm like, oh, I can waste 30 seconds. Like I can watch this. I can see what's going on.
Yeah,
So yeah, I also he is just super super fun and super enjoyable to watch anything he does.
yeah.
Going down the list, Bucks at Giants. Bucks should handle them. Oh no, Tommy DeVito starting this week.
Oh man, Tommy Cutlets is back in action.
Yeah,
But also Mike
Baker's. Oh, Mike Evans is back.
Mike Evans is back.
Oh hell yeah! I think the Bucks are a good team. They still have a chance to win that division, but it's gonna make it hard because they have two losses to the Falcons. So
Yeah,
um,
I just don't
and
know.
that is Tampa -6.
I'm not really interested in this game.
Nope. Moving on. Chiefs at Panthers. This is the sleeper spot that everyone was waiting for the Panthers to beat them. But now that the Chiefs lost last week, I unfortunately don't see that happening. But it would have been cool. If
I
Dave
mean,
Canales can somehow get their 4th win in the season,
I think Kansas City minus 10.5 is free money.
yeah,
Dude, the Saints beat the fucking piss out of the Panthers earlier. I know this is a different team now, but like, holy
yeah.
hell, the
I
Saints.
don't really know. The Chiefs are are an interesting team. Like they like Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid have this formula to win in the 4th quarter,
Yeah,
but in their defense, Steve Spagnuolo is a genius. But
yeah,
it's like they wait. It's like they kind of just tire people out.
yeah. They're kind of just almost like
More disciplined.
Yeah, yeah. It's
They let the other team beat themselves, and then like Patrick Mahomes does some shit that pisses off the entire country.
yeah.
Not anything against him. I'm sure he's a really nice guy. He seems like a good guy, but
Got a weird
um,
voice.
Patrick Mahomes, if you listen to this, I'd like to be friends with you, but
Yeah,
I hate you when you play on Sundays. So
that'll work. I'm sure he'll be okay.
yeah, good. All right, cool. Moving on. Boring game. Cowboys at Commanders. I'm pretty sure Jerry Jones has to do it. Pretty sure he has to sell.
Sell the team.
Yeah.
He's not going
He never
to.
will, but
No.
it's getting pretty close to him being assassinated.
100%. I was literally just gonna say,
Yeah.
if Cowboys fans are the real football fans that they say they are, they will put cyanide in his coffee. Like,
It's getting really close to that point, I fear.
yeah, yeah, like for real. Like, it is. I mean, he's gonna croak soon because that guy's older than shit. He
Their
looks.
stadium was falling apart the other day. Yeah, he looks bad. Like his eyes are like caving into his head.
Oh, the Cowboys are quitting. They're done.
Yeah.
They're done.
Yeah. I like CD Lamb too. That's probably him and Micah Parsons, like the 2 players that I like on that team.
I don't.
And
I don't like Micah Parsons as much as I used to. I think he's a loudmouth and
yeah, it kind of is. But as far as watching him play, he does some pretty wild shit. Like he
yeah,
does some athletic shit that like no man his size should be able to do.
I haven't seen a lot of highlights from him recently just because the Cowboys have been obsolete. But like,
Yeah, well, he's been hurt for like 6 weeks or something.
oh, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
He was back last game though, and obviously it didn't affect much.
Did you see the wild shit that he said about Mike McCarthy?
No,
Oh, bro, come on! You didn't see this? This is crazy.
no, I know the players are quitting on him though so hard.
Oh yeah. Well, um, man, he said something along the lines of like, so they were talking about one of the reporters asked about like him coming back next year, and then he's like, yeah, something along the lines of like, yeah, like if he comes back and he coaches next year, like, it is what it is. He's like, at this point, like I don't Mike McCarthy, like I don't really care. Like I'm playing for the guys like some of their seasoned vets on their team. They have this one guard that's been with the team for Zach Martin. He's like, I want to lift
Oh, Zach, yeah,
I want to lift the trophy for Zach Martin. Like,
yeah.
but and then like Big Cat like actually had like a pretty interesting perspective on it. Was like shouldn't he be thinking that way? He's like at the end of the day, like Mike McCarthy will get fired, but get picked up somewhere. He's gonna
Yeah.
have a job. He's like the players have a limited time in the league,
Yeah.
so they want to capitalize on this time. Like, all right, well, like, I get that, but he also did say something like, "Oh God, I gotta look it off. Hold on."
All right, I'll keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
Titans Texans. If the Texans don't handle that, I don't know what kind of team they are. The Texans are kind of confusing this year. CJ Stroud has not had that great of a year. He's also all of his wide receivers have either been shot or blown their hammy or whatever else has happened to him. Stephon Diggs tore his ACL.
Here, hold on, really quick. So this is the direct quote. You want to win games and do great things with those types of. So he was talking about Zach Martin, right? And he's like, you want to win games and do great things with those type of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did.
That's right. That's right.
So these are the kind of guys that I have so much sympathy and hurt for. That's what he said. That was a direct dig. But
That is. You don't need to bring him into that.
no, dude, you don't have to be like fuck Mike McCarthy. He's lazy, fat piece of shit. He doesn't work. Like, what the
That
fuck?
is funny.
Dang.
That
But
was a weird. It was an interesting hire by the Cowboys, honestly. A couple
yeah,
years ago.
yeah, I don't
But
know.
hey,
He was bound to get a job, but they should have hired Vrabel or Belichick.
yeah. Well, no, that was even before that.
You're right. I'm wrong.
There was coaches that were up for it though. I just can't remember at the time who it was. Um, I'm sure Vrabel actually might have been still in the mix. Anyway, yeah. So it's the Titans, Texans. Will Levis is fun to watch because he always does some dumb shit. So at least he's back in the lineup.
Not interested. Skip it.
Skip. Lions, Colts. Lions are the best team in the league right now.
Also, kind of disinterested in this game, but the Lions are fucking unbelievable.
Alex Richardson is
Anthony.
Anthony Richardson. Who's Alex Richardson? Who used to play football with him?
Alex.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's our kicker my senior year. And obviously like a tackle where we played.
They're not as huge white individual. So
No.
not a lot of similar.
Anthony Richardson pisses me off, dude. If I were his size, I'd also be in the league, and I'd have way more heart than he has. That guy's a fucking
Well, I did hear.
cop out.
Okay, yeah, I feel that, but I did hear reports as recently that like this benching has actually been a good thing for him, and he's like
I hope so.
becoming like a first in, last out kind of guy. It's like you need that. You need to develop that mentality in the league. So
I hope so, yeah. I mean, Joe Flacco, if anything, that's like you can't ask for a better backup to be like surrounded by around football knowledge and stuff. So,
Joey Flacco, I can't,
dude, Joe Flacco is a saint. He deserves everything in this world.
dude.
Um,
Put him in the Hall of Fame.
Dude, for real, best spot starter to ever exist. Won a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl MVP, although it should have been Jacoby Jones. Rest in peace. But um, where are we? Oh, Vikings Bears. This is an interesting game because the Vikings are not looking the best as of recent, and they need this if they want any chance to compete for the division with the Lions. Bears suck. I don't know how. Like the owners in Chicago sports are the most miserable owners.
Yeah.
What is it? Jerry Reinsdorf is the White Sox and the Bulls. I don't know who the Cubs are, but they kind of won one pretty recently, so I can't really say it about them. But the Bears, it's like McCaskey family is fucking. It's embarrassing, dude. Like it is so bad. Like that is a franchise that almost any coach would want to coach for.
Yeah, they're
Besides the fact that they have to deal with the McCaskies.
Yeah, exactly. They suck. They absolutely
Yeah.
suck. Dude, I texted Blake.
Ruining Caleb Williams.
So my best friend Blake loves diehard Bears fan. I texted him, bro. I texted him. I was like, just checking in on you, because you're like a Bears fan and everything.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, fuck you. And I was like, whoa. He was heated. And I was like, yo, time out, bro. I was literally like coming to you because this was a couple weeks back. I was trying to give you like a shoulder to cry on, bro. Like we're both having tough.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is. And he's like, dude, fuck you, fuck the Patriots. Your team fucking sucks too. He's like, Gerard Mayo was a DEI hire, and I was like, yo, I was like, why are you coming out my life?
That's mad funny.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, relax, because I was legitimately being like, yo, like, I'm rooting for the Bears this season too. Relax, bro.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was testy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Bears are just a shit show. I mean,
I think the
Caleb
Bears.
Williams has not looked good. He looked just like Justin Fields used to look.
I think the Bears are gonna win this week.
They look miserable. I mean, they got rid of Shane Waldron, but
Yeah, but
Eberflus, I don't know how. Like, Eberflus should have been fired like week 10 of last year.
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That franchise pisses me off because I would like them to be good. They have my favorite jerseys in the league, like them and the Raiders. So,
Dude, if Belichick started coaching the Bears, like I might be like a secondary Bears fan.
Oh yeah. Right now my team's kind of the Niners because of Seth, but and Brock Purdy I like. But anyway, Broncos Raiders. This is where we start getting into some of the teams that are surprising us. The Broncos are surprisingly good. Sean Payton's turning that ship around, and Bo Nix is better than we thought. We're gonna wrap up, and I'm gonna touch on rookies. So leave that game. Raiders suck. Whatever their coach's name is, Anthony Pierce.
Or Pierce.
Antonio Pierce, yeah.
Yeah.
Antonio. Was a good experiment. Whatever. He sucks. Fun guy though.
Hey, dude, they never should have fired Rich Bisaccia.
Well, he was an interim, and then they just never hired him. I don't know if that's firing.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. You're right, but like I don't ever should have got rid of him. But anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, then going on to two more classic franchises, the Niners Packers. Packers are -3.
This is a whole like this is a historic matchup in my mind.
It is. Yeah, I just don't know what's going on with the Niners, dude. Like, it's not like Brock Purdy's playing bad. He's just having to do too much. Their offense used to be so fluid, and it looks clunky as hell.
Well,
C-Mac is back, but it's just not looking good.
I think it's a matter of time that they get back on the wagon, and like because they have to find continuity and consistency with their offense. And Christian McCaffrey, like, so what is this? His second or third week back now? Like, all right, he's back. He's back in full swing. I mean, they lost Brandon Ayuk for the season, but they got Jawan Jennings, who's like a great, like, essentially very similar receiver. And
what's his face?
Debo has
Ricky
been
Pearsall.
Yeah, Debo's been in and out of the lineup. He's been hurt on and off, so they don't have
fighting teammates.
They don't have consistency there. Like the defense has been injured, so it's like every year they're injured as fuck. I wonder, dude. I'm actually curious to know, like, you know how the NFL does like those grades about like training staff and like and stuff like that. I'm curious to know if like that has anything to do with it. Because remember, like the Ravens were like consistently one of the teams,
most injured teams, yeah.
And then it came out like they have an F like for like their facilities. So it's like, let's see, NFL facility.
That is a good question, because you'd figure like people from Stanford, Cal, and whatnot would stick around and just be athletic trainers for them. But I'll keep going moving forward. I would do this so we can save some time. Seahawks Cardinals. This is actually, dude, that division is awesome. It's turning down to the very end. Cardinals are -1.
Hold on, let me get you this real quick. So Niners A-. Let's see, A- treatment of facilities, A- food cafeteria, B+ nutritionist dietitian, locker room, B+, training room C, training staff B-. And those are kind of low grades considering like the rest of the grades. And then Washington, the Commanders F-, D+, B-, F-, 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 F, C.
Yeah, well, they just got rid of their owner. That clearly didn't give a fuck about them. So hopefully that changes. I hope the Cardinals win that. I like watching Kyler Murray. That team is fun. That's all I have to say about that. And the Seahawks beat the 49ers twice, which is not good for them. Eagles at Rams. Eagles are back to playing well again. Saquon is, I think, the best player in the league right now. I like to see him win the MVP, although it's quite literally impossible considering Christian McCaffrey put up some of the best numbers ever at running back last year, and he finished like third. So there's that, I guess. But that covers that game. Cool.
Yep.
Oh, Eagles are getting healthy. That's a big thing too. Eagles are getting back to being healthy, so they might start rolling here a little bit. And then the Monday night game is Ravens at Chargers, which is going to be a hell of a game. The Harbaugh Bowl. How about that? Harbaugh. Ravens need this win if they want, because that division is good. They're playing, and the Steelers have one less loss than them, and they've just been kind of wishy-washy. Like they've been great some weeks and not great some weeks.
The Ravens do this thing every fucking year. Like they look like unbelievable world beaters, and then they go through the middle of the season and they just absolutely start just shitting. Like they do it. Lamar will have a few games where he has like a bunch of turnovers, and and looks bad, and then they start to come on strong toward the end of the season again, and everyone's like, all right, Super Bowl, Baltimore, and then they lay a dud in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So like it is like the same song and dance. It's crazy that they do this every year.
It is. And then on the other end, the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh is saving that franchise. Looking good. All right, I got to wrap this up because I want to have some time before work. Doing that, I mean, that wraps up everything except that F1, Max Verstappen needs to lose by less than 3 points, and then he wins the championship in Vegas this weekend. So that's pretty much wrapped. I mean, the championship is pretty much over. Shout out Max Verstappen. Dun, 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 dun. It's in Vegas too, so check it out. It'll be cool. Max Verstappen. And then our pro tip. There you go. Hi, Bubba. Our pro tip. My pro tip of the week is that. Hey, Bergie. Hi, Bubba. Come here. You can come. You can come. My pro tip of the week is that it's getting cold. So whatever shirt, hoodie, or whatever you're planning on buying, buy to size up because then it can fit shit underneath it. And that's I do that pretty much all year round, but it's a huge in the winter for all the stuff I have. So if you're a large, buy an XL. If you're a medium, buy a large. Whatever it is, buy a size up.
I like that. That one, for sure. Sure, that's a good one. It's a good little pro tip. I was thinking about this one today. I always have a couple pro tips on the noggin, but mine is I was rolling through a bunch of like old pictures, old photos recently, looking for something for a presentation, and like I came up with a bunch of like old, like good high school, like college memories and stuff, and I shot them off to some of my buddies, and it was just like they're hilarious. Either they're hilarious memories or they're just like brought up some old good times. So you find an old photo, dig it up, and if like you're thinking about sending it to your boys or any of your friends, family, or anything like that, shoot it off to them, man. Because
Hell yeah.
like don't hesitate to do it too, because I think it just brings up old good times and then brings up good conversation, makes you feel good.
That's what pictures are for, man. You forget a lot of those memories.
Facts.
All right, that's the pod today. Thanks for showing up. Peace, love, and prosperity. My dog's trying to eat my headphone. All right, everyone, take it easy. Catch you on the flippy.